Kris Boyd has responded to Rangers' victory against Motherwell. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Football. It was an eventful weekend, and now our eyes are turning to the midweek European action. European preview show will be on the channel tonight in some capacity. Looking forward to doing it. But Kris Boyd was ranting and he was raving about Phillipe Clement. This was in his Scottish Sun explosive column. He said, "Your time is up, my time is now." Well, there wasn't as much John Cena quotes in there, but we'll dive into it. He said, "It's over, it's finished, your time is up. Trust me, Rangers supporters are sick and tired of your guff, and there's no way back. Wednesday night at Pittodrie was the final insult for me. To describe it as one of the best performances of the season was genuinely staggering. I'm sorry, if you think that's what the supporters want to hear when their team is 9 points off Celtic at the top, never mind Aberdeen, then you're deluded. To talk about a toenail offside decision beggars belief. No one cares. For the life of me, I cannot understand why the press officers haven't stopped you coming out with this garbage. Or maybe they have, and you've just decided to ignore that advice. But then, there has been so much nonsense coming out your mouth in your media conferences. We keep hearing about progression and players improving, but how is this a young squad and things are going to get better once they settle at the club? It's nonsense. Good players don't need time to bed in. 8 of your starting lineup were already at the football club when you arrived, and a few of them weren't regulars last season. You talk about getting to the next transfer window, but you've already wasted an absolute fortune, so why would you be trusted with the money again? Against Aberdeen on Wednesday night, there was not one single left-footed player in the starting 11, not one. Yefty'd been playing every week and doing okay, and yet for the biggest game of the season, he was dropped. Yefty, what's going on? Explain that one to me, because there was clearly no balance in the team. Against St Mirren last Sunday, Captain Tavernier, Suter and Dessers were rested, with the sports science department once again influencing the team. It's crazy talk. Dessers gets criticism as the strikers, and it's hard to defend him at times, especially recently. People keep telling me your job is safe because there's no one with any authority or enough gumption at Ibrox to sack you, but deep down you must know that cannot be the case, because if you don't realise you're in a perilous position, then you're more deluded than I thought. End of quote there. Kris Boyd firing from the hip. Kris Boyd shooting at bloody Phillipe Clement with his 6-shooter there. What an almighty rant that was. And, you know, he's talking about the fact that he's done. And he is done. It is though. It's like 8 of the 11 against Aberdeen were at the club last year. Now, Tierney came back in. I believe Yefty came back in against Motherwell, right? But it's like, if Clement is to have a future at Rangers, and trust me, guys, I don't want the guy to have a future at Rangers, but here, the numbers don't lie, and the press, well, I'm not going to go as far as saying they don't lie, but it just looks like he's going to stay. And if Phillipe Clement is going to stay, right? Now, I'll tell you what needs to happen, my friends. Big Phil Clement, if he's going to stay, he needs to drop the guys that are just there's just like there's no expectations at the club anymore from anyone that ain't the fans, because there's no way what Tavernier and Cyril Dessers have been doing recently warrants a starting place in that team. And you know what? You could probably go through the entire starting 11 and say, yeah, everybody's worthy of getting dropped. You probably could at some stage of this season. It's like, why can't Liam Kelly get a game? Dujon Sterling, why can't he get a game? Kazim Weirjo, why can't he start? Why can't the youngsters get a game? Why can't Zach Lovelace, Cole McKinnon, players like that get a game? It is getting ridiculous, man. It's like anyone with a brain would be able to look at like what happened with Gio and Bale and be like, right, there's a few players here that have stayed with those guys. Obviously with Gio, I mean, the team has changed quite a lot since Gio left. I mean, honestly, who's honestly stayed since then? Suter was injured, so I'm not really going to count Suter, but you know, you've got Yilmaz was injured as well quite a lot. I mean, Tavernier is the common denominator. Like, people can say, oh, Dessers gets manager sacked, right? He got Beale sacked, right? But was it all down to Dessers? No. You know, James Tavernier, right, has how many managers? I'd actually have to go through how many managers he's got sacked. You know, we're looking at Murty, we're looking at Pedro, we're looking at Warburton, We're looking at Gio, we're looking at Bale, and we're looking at Clement. I mean, forgive me if I forgot one, but it's not normal for a player to see off that many managers, man. It really, really ain't. Anyway, what do you guys think? Is Chris Boyd right? He's this explosively, man. He's calling Clement deluded. I can't disagree with him. But, I mean, surely enough is enough, and that the guys like Tavernier and co., they just have to get dropped. They have to get dropped. And, Sterling, Casemiro, whatever, Youth, whoever, there needs to be changes, or else Clement is just going to suffer the exact same fate as the guys before him. Anyway, moving on. Peace.